जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे जय प्रभुपादा, जय प्रभुपादा, प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा। जय श्री श्री राधा कालचंद्र जी भगवान की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्वसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वसभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 8 text 61. This text is in the series of talks between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, and this talk is in the beginning stage, starting from Karma Yoga and then Varnashram Dharma and then Gyan Mishrit Bhakti, Karma Mishrit Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. So, in one of the Acharya has written that Ramananda Rai includes 4 personalities. Mainly Ramananda Rai is the incarnation of Visakha Devi. Also, he has the bhav of Lalita Devi, partial bhav. Also, he has the bhav of Arjuna, who heard Bhagavad Gita in Kurukshetra. And 4th personality is Arjuna, the cowherd friend of Lord Krishna from Vrindavan. So 4 personalities came together as Ramananda Rai. So Lord Krishna told Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna 5000 years back, and now in the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya, he is asking questions to Arjuna that I taught you Bhagavad Gita, now you answer me the questions, how much you have learned. So this is the reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. And Ramananda Rai and Lord both are playing the part of a great devotee here. That's why when Lord Chaitanya saw Ramananda Rai and they embraced each other and both of them became unconscious. Means the feelings and symptoms of ecstasy came, overwhelmed them. But when they saw that there are some people who are not on the level of pure devotion, so they will misunderstand our behavior. So both of them came in the external consciousness. And then Ramananda Rai came alone later, and they were discussing with each other the talks regarding Krishna. And in one of the day, the topic was related to Lord Chaitanya asking him what is the goal of life, means what is the topmost spiritual perfection. That was the question of Lord Chaitanya, and Ramananda Rai started giving the answer. So in the last few verses, Lord Chaitanya asked about Aage kaha aar, you tell more. And Ramananda Rai says that Krishna karmarpana, offering results of our activities to Krishna, that's the essence. And he quoted the verse, Yat karosi yadasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat. And Lord Chaitanya says in the current verse 61 is like this. Prabhu kahe eho bahe aage kaha aar, Raya kahe swadharma tyaga e sadhya sar. This is the verse 61. Prabhu kahe eho bahe aage kaha aar. He is telling that this is also external. This is also external, please proceed and speak further on this matter. We need to understand what Lord Chaitanya is telling here, because Ramananda Rai quoted Krishna Karma Arpana, offering the results of our activity to Krishna. He is quoting that, and Lord Chaitanya is telling this is also external. And then he is telling, please proceed and speak further on this matter. So we need to understand the difference between external and useless. Lord Chaitanya is not telling that this is wrong, because this is given in the Vedic literature. Yat karosi yadasnasi is the famous verse from Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 27th verse. So Lord Chaitanya is not telling that this type of interpretation is wrong. That's why he is telling, please proceed and speak further on this matter. It is written in the translation. So the meaning is, you are on the right path, but this Krishna Karmarpanam is also external to the pure devotional service. It is the Vedic concept, but it is also external to pure devotional service. Meaning, by doing Krishna Karmarpanam, one will achieve perfection, but it will take time. He has to offer his fruits of his result to Lord Krishna, and then giving up attachment to the fruits of the results, and then he has to acquire the knowledge from the Vedic scriptures, and then he has to practice pure devotional service, sadhana bhakti, and then he will come to pure devotion. So in that manner he is telling external. And sometimes there is difficulty, means wherever Lord Chaitanya is telling eho bahya aage kaha aar. So sometimes people understand is that this is not important and this is a wrong thing or useless thing. So bahya does not mean the useless thing. Bahya means it is the external feature of the Vedic literature. Because Ramananda Rai cannot say useless thing. He is also a pure devotee. So when we see from the point of pure devotion, then we realize this, that these all other things fall short. But in itself it is not the wrong thing. When Srila Prabhupada flew from New York to San Francisco first time, and that was his first flight in his life, because from India to US he came by the ship, not by the flight. So he was flying from New York to San Francisco for Avalon volume program, and after coming to San Francisco he was telling the experience. He told that such big building on earth, but when we see from the height of the aeroplane, then we see all those buildings as small. It's like the matchboxes. So then Prabhupada told one important point. He told that some buildings may be only 1 story, some may be 10-story building, some may be 50-story building. But when you see from the height of the aeroplane, every building looks like the same. It looks like the matchbox, because the height is so much that you don't differentiate between the 50-story building or 10-story building or 2-story building. And then Prabhupada told that is the similar thing with pure devotional service, where there are pious activities in this world. There is karma yoga also, there is jnana yoga also. But when you see the thing from the height of pure devotion, then all those things becomes very small. So that's how Lord Chaitanya is saying here. He is telling that these things are okay, but from the point of pure devotion, these things are external. This is the meaning of saying external. Otherwise, Lord Krishna told Yat karosi yadasnasi. Lord Krishna told that Chaturvanyam maya srishtam gunakaram vibhagasa. I made this system of 4 varnas and 4 ashrama. So if he is telling in one of the incarnation, he cannot reject in another incarnation. And also Srila Prabhupada writes here, you can read translation. This is also external. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please proceed and speak further on this matter. Ramananda Rai replied, to give up one's occupational duties in the varnashram is the essence of perfection. Purport. A Brahmana may renounce his family and accept sannyas. Others also, Kshatriyas and Vaisyas, may also give up their families and take to Krishna consciousness. Such renunciation is called karma tyaga. By such renunciation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied. However, this renouncing of one's activities to Krishna is not uncontaminated and is therefore on the material platform. Such activities are considered within the material universe because according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they refer to the material universe and are therefore external. See, Prabhupada is giving the reason also. All these activities are considered within the material universe, therefore they are the external activities. Lord Chaitanya is clear, Srila Prabhupada is writing clearly in the purport. To correct this, Ramananda Rai recommended that one take to the renounced order of life in order to transcend material activities. This is supported by the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he is quoting Srimad Bhagavatam verse and also Bhagavad Gita verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, which is one of the most important verse from Bhagavad Gita. So we need to understand, once Srila Prabhupada was being asked by one of the reporter, what is the four varna and four, means the reporter asked, is the varnashram the caste system? So Srila Prabhupada replied that is the natural system of the human society. You may not take the name of varnas and ashramas, but you will find that division all over the world. And then Srila Prabhupada told the modern equivalent of the varnas. He told that in any human society, you find the intellectual class, you find the administrative class, you find the business class, and you find the labor class. Whichever place in the world you go, these four classes are prominent. Some will be intellectual, some will be administrators or fighters, some will be the business person who earn money, and some will be the labor class who does the physical labor. So Prabhupada told that just like there are four body parts, heads is there, hands are there, belly is there, and legs are there. Similarly, in the universal form of Lord Krishna, there are four parts, bodily parts. So this denotes to Varna. Brahmanas are related to the mouth or head, brain. Kshatriyas are related to the hands. Vaisyas are related to the belly. And Sudras are related to the legs. So this is the natural division of the human society. And Srila Prabhupada, when he came to West, he understood that it is very difficult to apply the Varnashramas principles here because the society has come far away from that principle. So that's why, that was the purpose Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Hare Krishna mantra and the pure devotional service. Because the human society in the last 5,000 years back, when the Bhagavad Gita was being spoken, that time the human society was very much structured as comparison to the present day society. But as Kali Yuga progressed, the society also degenerated. Like people lost trust in the Brahmanas because of their degraded activities. And also Varaha Purana speaks in one place, Rakshasim Kalimasritya Brahmanam Yoni Janmasu. The demons who used to fight with the demigods, in Kali Yuga, taking the shelter of Kali Yuga, they accepted the bodies in the Brahminical families, Brahminical dynasties. So that's why we see during the time of Lord Buddha, so the Brahmanas were exploiting the people, and because of that, because they were the leader of the society, but Kshatriyas lost trust. And then Kshatriyas told that we will not accept their authority and we will rule. So Kshatriyas are the administrators and Brahmanas were the advisors of Kshatriyas. So when Kshatriyas overpowered Brahmanas, then they converted into dictators. So when Varnashrama is degraded and Kshatriyas take over without the suggestion of the Brahmanas, then there is the birth of dictatorship. When Vaisyas take over the post of Brahmana and guide the society, then the capitalism takes birth. When Sudras take over the Varnashrama and take the post of the Brahmana, then communism takes over. So we see within the 5,000 years, all these capitalism, communism, dictatorship, all these are coming from the degradation of Varnashrama. And how it started? Parikshit Maharaj got cursed by the son of the Brahmana. That was the first attack of Kali Yuga on the Brahminical dynasty. After that, the whole Varnashrama collapsed, and now it's difficult to find Varnashrama all over the world. But Srila Prabhupada mentioned that this is one of the objective of ISKCON. In fact, he told that 50% of mission is remaining. Because we see the Western society and even the Indian society now, Indian cities, whichever there is the corporate work, people don't find time to practice Krishna consciousness due to the pressure of work. They start in the early morning, then they come back in the night. So the modern work culture is like that. People are not having time to basically practice Krishna consciousness. Even chanting holy name is becoming difficult. So, Srila Prabhupada predicted this, that as the Kali Yuga will progress, the society will go at a age that it will be difficult to take out time for spiritual activities. That's why Srila Prabhupada wanted that his followers should work on developing the social structure which is not so hardsome. So hardsome means which is not so strugglesome for maintaining the basic needs of the society. And that was the objective with which Srila Prabhupada started the farm communities in ISKCON, West Virginia farm, then different places in the US and different places all over the world. That was one of the purpose, so that devotees should not struggle in the modern way of life. But still we have a far way to go. ISKCON followers have a far long way to go currently in this field. And because the more we are dependent on the modern society, more it will be difficult to advance in Krishna consciousness also. Because we need the time. Especially the working class doesn't have the time now. First shift, then night shift, then second shift, and continuously, then it is difficult to regulate the life. So the social structure is always required, and if we see the social structure is proper, then devotees can practice nicely. That's the purpose of the social structure. That was the purpose of Varnashrama also. Varnashrama itself was not the goal of life, because it comes in Vishnu Puran. Varnashrama charvata purusena parapuman Vishnu aradhyate pantha. When being situated in the Varnashrama, person worships Lord Vishnu, then that is the perfection of Varnashrama. And that is called Devi Varnashrama. If within the Varnashrama person are not the devotees of Vishnu, then that is called Asuri Varnashrama. So that's why it's important that devotees should develop the communities which are based on the combined endeavor of the devotees, so that they can peacefully execute Krishna consciousness. And here in the verse 62, Srila Ramananda Rai is quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is from 11th canto, 11th chapter, text 32. Agyayaivam gunan dosan mayadishtan api swakan dharman samtyajya sarvan mam bhajet sachasattamaha. He is telling Agyayaivam gunan dosan. Agyaya means knowing perfectly. Gunan dosan. Maya adishtan apiswakan. When one knows when one analyzes the occupational duty, he can understand their qualities and their faults. And dharmam samtyajaya sarvan. By understanding fully their qualities and faults, and when somebody gives up the occupational duties completely to render service unto the Lord, that is called first class man. This is a similar concept which Lord is talking about in Bhagavad Gita. Aruruksho muni yogi karma karanam uchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva samah karanam uchyate. For the beginner of the yoga process, activities are the means to achieve perfection. But those who are advanced in the yoga practice, for them samah karanam means stopping the activities becomes the objective, means to attain the goal. That is the concept which Ramananda Rai is talking here. And text 63, he describes about sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. This verse is known as Charam Sloka of Bhagavad Gita. If you have been to South India, there is one famous temple of Varadraj in Kanchipuram, South India. So on the hands of Varadraj, this is one of the part of this verse is written Ma Suchaha, do not fear. If you closely see in the hands, it is written Ma Suchaha, and he is offering that hand to the devotees. So this verse is called Charam Sloka. Charam Sloka means it is giving the ultimate message from Bhagavad Gita. After giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I will give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. So Ma Suchaha means do not worry. So Lord has the power to relieve us from the karmic reaction, and He showed it many times. In Srimad Bhagavatam we have seen that when Lord's master, spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, he asked Guru Dakshina from Krishna and Balram, and he asked that we want to see our dead sons. So that time Lord Krishna goes there to Yamaraj, and Yamaraj came out and offered Mangalarti. Arti means worship to the Lord, and after that Lord says that I want to take those dead sons. And then Yamaraj says that they have done this, their karmic reactions are not over now. So Lord Krishna says that don't worry, I will take them, you put those activities in my name. Matkataha, what the verse says there? Matkataha samarpayan, something like that. And he took them. So we can understand this concept by this. Suppose if there is the owner of the restaurant, and sometime the owner comes with his best friend in the same restaurant for eating. So after the food is over, when the waiter comes with the bill, or the manager comes with the bill, that this is the bill, so the owner says that you put all this bill in my name and don't charge this person. So that person is free. So similarly, Krishna is the owner of the law of action and reaction. So if he wants, he can make someone free from the action and reaction principle. That's the meaning of Ma Suchaha. And Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport. In this connection, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami instructs in his book, Manah Siksha, Na dharmam na dharmam suti gana niruktam kilukuru vraje radha krishna prachur paricharyam ihatanu. He is telling we should not perform religious or irreligious activities as prescribed in the Vedas. The best course is to engage always in the service of Lord Krishna and Radharani. That is the perfection of everything in this life. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Yada yasya anugahnati bhagavan atmabhavitah sajahati matim loke vede cha parinishchitam. When one actually takes to the loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gives up all duties in the material world, as well as all duties prescribed by Vedic literatures. In this way, one is fixed in the service of the Lord. So, Srimad Bhagavatam describes that each one of us has so many deaths. Our forefathers, the sages, the demigods, ancestors, they have done so much for us so that we can live in this world. So those all debts we need to handle. But if somebody takes to the worship of Mukunda, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, who offers liberation, if somebody worships Lord Mukunda, then all his obligations are destroyed. All his obligations are completed. Gato Mukundam parihitta kartum. But we should not take the excuse for this. In the name of being irresponsible, we should not give the excuse. See, I have surrendered to Lord Mukunda, so I don't need to do any duty. That's the excuse. Because serving mother and father, serving everyone, serving the people of the world, serving the sages, that's the duty. That is only excluded if you are 100% serving the Lord Mukunda. Otherwise, it is sinful to leave their service. because they have done so much for us. So if we are grateful, we should do that service. Only when we are 100% surrendered to the Lord, then those things becomes external. Sometimes people take it for the granted that Bhagavad Gita says like this. But Bhagavad Gita also says that whichever place Lord Krishna and Arjuna is there, that place morality will also be there. Yatra, what is the last verse of Bhagavad Gita? Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanodhara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Whichever place Lord Krishna is there and Arjun is there, so 4 things will follow in that place. Sri, Vijay, Bhuti and Niti. Sri means opulence, Vijay means victory, and Bhuti means extraordinary power, and Niti means morality. So if somebody is carrying Krishna and Arjuna with him, or he is leading his life according to the principles of Krishna and Arjuna, then he cannot miss the morality principles. He cannot become immoral, giving the excuse that I have seen one example. One of the student in India, in one of the colleges where we are preaching, so the student was preparing for the exam, and the HOD of that department was also ISKCON devotee, initiated disciple. So this student was living in the youth hostel, which was run by ISKCON, like this Krishna house is there. Similarly in ISKCON, in India we say Base Bhaktivedanta Academy for Culture and Education. Students live there. So this student, particularly student, he went to that HOD, who is the devotee. And this student told to that HOD that, see, I am the devotee, you are the devotee. So if you will give me the exam paper before, so I will not need so much preparation. I will get more time for preaching and I will get more marks. So people will say that ISKCON students are so brilliant. So it will be benefiting for ISKCON also, and it will be benefiting for you also, and devotees will be happy, and Prabhupada will be happy with you. Like that, this student is telling to the HOD that you give me this exam paper, so I will not have to work hard for this. That time I can give for reading Bhagavad Gita or bringing more students. Like that he is justifying. And HOD thought that there is something wrong in this concept, is something wrong is there. So HOD didn't say anything. He told, okay, I will let you know after some time. When this student left the office, HOD called the temple president. This student came to me. He is living in the youth hostel and he was telling like this. And the president called the student. So president asked, why you did this thing? This is a wrong thing. This is a cheating. So this student tried to influence president also. He told that, see, you have started that youth hostel. If the result of the youth hostel is good, so who will benefit? You will benefit. Your ISKCON will benefit. And Prabhupada will benefit. So you are not the loyal follower of Prabhupada because you are not allowing me to get good marks. If I will get good marks, you will have good reputation. That ISKCON devotees are so nicely, they get so nice marks. So then this president told him that we will throw you away from the youth hostel. He told, you are rascal, and you are including me also in your rascaldom. You are including the HOD also, and you are telling all of us that by help you cheating in the exam, we will please Srila Prabhupada. He told, this is a super rascaldom. You are not eligible to stay in the youth hostel. So this is an example that sometime even after being devotee, we don't know what is morality, what is immorality. And our mind gives the excuse that we can do anything because we are the devotee and we can do anything. There is one example of Prabhupada also, when Prabhupada was visiting one of the temple, and he was going in the morning walk. So he saw one devotee coming out from the garden of another person. Coming out means he was stealing the flowers. And Prabhupada asked that devotee. The devotee told, I am stealing the flower for Krishna. And that person is a non-devotee who is the owner of the garden. At least I am engaging his flowers in Krishna's service. So it will help that person to come closer to Krishna. So Prabhupada told that it is good that you are using the flowers, but you are not asking his permission. So this person told that Krishna is the proprietor of everything. So then Prabhupada told, but Krishna has given these flowers in his custody currently. You cannot go inside the house and steal the flowers and say that I am using it in Krishna's service. That is immoral behavior. So first doing the mistake and then justifying the mistake. That's another problem. We see this in so many cases. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam we see Kamsa first killing all 6 sons of Devaki, then coming and justifying that I did not kill. This is law of action and reaction. We are not the bodies, we are the soul. When I was reading this, I was thinking, if he knows all these things, why he has killed them? He is speaking such a high philosophy, Bhagavad Gita philosophy, and justifying that after killing all the son, he is justifying that I am not the killer. So this is such a rascal thing. Means the person who knows the philosophy and he is using the philosophy to exploit others. So this is such an immoral behavior on the part of the devotee. And if we act in that way, we don't earn the trust from others. Then person thinks that he speaks big thing, but he is a third class person. Because morality is required for the spiritualist. Only when there is the morality is coming as an obstacle in the way to service to Krishna, then devotees try to go another way. Otherwise, in general, it's required that devotees should follow the moral principles. Sometime in India we have seen devotees don't buy the train ticket. When they are caught by the ticket checker, they say that we are the Krishna devotee. So the organization get the bad name that ISKCON devotees, they are traveling in the train, not even buying the ticket, trying to cheat the railway. So these are not the good practices. We should not consider ourselves too transcendental, that I can do anything in the name of becoming a devotee. Then it becomes it distorts the image of the organization also. And we also can't progress in spiritual life if we have that type of immoral attitude. Then Lord is also seeing that you are not practicing basic morality. How you will practice this in spirituality properly? So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to say that ISKCON devotees should be ideal gentlemen. They should be the perfect example for the society in all the things. So then Lord Chaitanya says that this is also external. Giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties and coming to me. That means karma tyaga. That is also external. So then Ramananda Rai says to Jnana Mishra Bhakti. This is the first step where he is starting now, Bhakti. After Jnana Mishra, then he will go to other Jnane Prayas Udapasya. He is quoting many things. And when Krishna Bhakti starts, pure devotional service he speaks, then Lord Chaitanya says that now you have reached to the proper place, now you speak on this subject matter. So Jnana Mishra Bhakti he is saying, Prabhu kahe eho bahe aage kaha aar, Rai kahe Jnana Mishra Bhakti sadhya sar. After hearing Ramananda Rai speak in this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, go ahead and say something more. Ramananda Rai then replied, devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection. This is known as Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Bhakti is there, but it is mixed with knowledge. Who was the Jnana Mishra Bhakta, which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam? Maitreya Muni was being described as the Jnana Mishra Bhakta when he first time came to hear Uddhav Gita. He was sitting and Uddhav was sitting and Lord Krishna was focusing on Uddhav, not Maitreya Muni. Srila Prabhupada writes in that purport that Maitreya Muni has the Jnana Mishra feelings that time. After hearing Uddhav Gita, then Maitreya Muni became so pure that he spoke 2 full cantos of Bhagavatam, Canto 3 and Canto 4, were spoken by Maitreya Muni. So that incident happened after hearing Uddhav Gita from Lord Krishna directly. He became totally pure. And he narrated 2 cantos to another pure devotee, Vidur. That's how the hearing from the bona fide source is so important. If some person has some kind of mixture, all those things are cleared if we hear properly. So devotional service mixed with non-Vedic speculative knowledge is certainly not pure devotional service. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, in his Anubhasya, preached that self-realization following the execution of ritualistic ceremonies is in the neutral stage between liberation and conditional life. It is the place beyond this material world in the river Viraja. Viraja means Viraja. Raja means Rajogun, mode of passion, and V means totally freed. The place which is totally free from mode of passion and ignorance. That's called Viraja, where the three modes of material nature are neutralized in the unmanifest stage. However, in the spiritual world is a manifestation of a spiritual sky, known as Vaikuntha Lok, where is no anxiety. Vaikuntha means, Kuntha means anxiety, and Vai means devoid of. So devoid of anxiety. That is called Vaikuntha. The material world is known as Brahmanda. The material universe is the creation of the external energy. Between the two creations, the material creation and the spiritual creation, is a river known as Viraja, as well as a place known as Brahmalok. Viraja Nadi and Brahmalok are shelters for living entities disgusted with material life and inclined to impersonal existence by way of denying material variegatedness. It is important to note, this Brahmalok is not the Satyalok, the abode of Lord Brahma. This Brahmalok is between material creation and spiritual creation. That means it is describing Brahma Jyoti. Sometimes Brahma Jyoti is being described as Brahmalok, but that is different from the abode of Lord Brahma. Viraja Nadi and Brahmalok are shelters for living entities disgusted with material life and inclined to impersonal existence by way of denying material variegatedness. Since these places are not situated in the Vaikuntha Loka or the spiritual world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proclaims them to be external. In the Brahmalok and Viraja Nadi, one cannot conceive of the Vaikuntha Lok. Brahmalok and Viraja Nadi are also attained after difficult austerities, but in these realms there is no understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His transcendental loving service. Without such spiritual knowledge, simple detachment from material condition is but another side of material existence. From the spiritual point of view, it is all external. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this proposal, Ramananda Rai suggested that devotional service based on philosophy and logic is more progressed position. So here Ramananda Rai suggested this type of bhakti, and Lord Chaitanya eventually will tell that this is also the external, and then he quotes the bhakti which is free from empiric philosophy and mental speculation. That bhakti is the goal of life, and from that point Lord Chaitanya says that okay, this is a good subject matter, now you go little more deep in this subject matter. So that in the next classes we can see text, whoever is giving the next class, they can start from text 65. 64 also, or 65. 64 I completed, but from 65 they can start. If some devotee have some questions or comment, they can ask. Okay, if there is no question, then we can end the class now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Next verse is not long purport. Yeah, 65 we can do. 65 verse, Srila Ramananda Rai quotes from Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter, 54th verse. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samah sarvesu bhutesu mad bhaktim labhate param. So this verse is synonymous to the person who is Brahma realized and then he attains devotional service. He is telling Brahma bhuta prasannatma. The person who is Brahman realized means he is beyond the three modes. That's why he becomes prasannatma. Prasannatma means he is always joyful, fully joyful. And Brahma bhuta means he is free from material conceptions. but attached to impersonal situation. So the symptom is na sochati na kankshati, because in this world people have these two things, na sochati and kankshati. They, whatever they have, for that they are attached to, whatever they don't have, for that they are hankering. And also for the past they are lamenting. So three things are common for the material conditioned soul: soka, moha, bhaya. Lamentation for the past, illusion for the present, fear for the future. These three things are common for the conditioned living entity. And when somebody is free from that, then that person is called Brahma Bhuta. So na sochati na kankshati, samah sarvesu bhutesu. He is equal to all living entities. In this condition he achieves mad bhaktim labate param. So in this condition he achieves bhakti. By seeing this thing, the question may come to us in our mind, if that is the symptom of the person who starts doing bhakti, then what are we doing now? We are not on this stage. Na sochati na kankshati brahma bhuta prasannatma sama sarvesu bhutesu. These are high qualification. And Lord is telling mad bhakti labhate. After that this person achieves my devotion. So Srila Prabhupada says that whatever we are doing, we are trying to do the bhakti prayas. Sadhana bhakti is actually the practice of following the rules and regulations with the desire to attain the feelings of separation for the Lord. This is described by Lord in Bhagavad Gita, verse chapter 12, text 9. Atha chittam samadhatum na saknosi maistharam abhyasa yogena tato mamikshaptum dhananjaya. Lord says that you should always fix your mind in me, but if you are not able to fix your mind in me, then follow the rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga with the desire to attain me. Because if we have the desire to attain Lord Krishna, and with that desire we are following the regulative principles of Bhakti, starting with waking up early, chanting Hare Krishna, taking bath, chanting Hare Krishna, offering artik to the Lord, offering bhoga for the Lord and doing different services. These are the regulative principles. And if with the desire to attain Krishna we do it, then our heart becomes purified, and when the heart becomes purified, that these symptoms come. And then we start bhakti. So actual bhakti starts with when we become very mature in sadhana bhakti, and we go to the stage of bhava bhakti, the devotional feeling with the devotional service with the feeling of separation. Here Lord is telling that's the start of the bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is the practice of reaching to that stage. That's why sometimes sadhana bhaktas are called Vaishnava, sometimes they are called Vaishnava Praya, almost like a Vaishnava. So almost like a Vaishnava means we have the Vaishnava dress, Vaishnava tilak, Vaishnava kanthimala, but inside we may not be Vaishnava. Sometimes we may be gentlemen, sometimes we may be mental men. So while doing practice, when we become mature in the devotional service, then we achieve this stage, and then we do the bhava bhakti and eventually achieve the prema bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport, in Bhagavad Gita it is said that a person who accepts the theory of monism means theory of impersonalism, being always engaged in empiric philosophical discussion about spiritual life, he becomes joyful and is relieved from all material lamentation and hankering. At that stage one is equipoised. He sees all living entities as spiritual beings. After attaining this elevated stage, one can attain pure devotional service. You can see the example of Sukadeva Goswami. He already attained this stage, and he left his home. And when Vyasadeva couldn't bring him back, so Vyasadeva told two of his disciples to chant the Bhagavatam verses in front of Sukadeva Goswami. So the place where he was meditating, they started chanting Barha Pidam verse from 10th canto, where Krishna's bodily beauty is described, and another verse from 3rd canto, Aho Bakiyam Stana Kalaputam, where Krishna's compassion is described. So by hearing about Krishna's compassion and hearing about Krishna's beauty, Sukadeva Goswami, who was in this stage, Brahma Bhuta stage, he became attracted to the Lord. So that is the example, perfect example for this. He already transcended the material modes of nature, but then he became attracted to Lord Krishna and became the pure devotee. So that type of person he is describing here, Srila Ramananda Rai. in text 65. In text 66 also, Lord, text 66, Lord says that this is also external. This is external because there is no tinge of bhakti, not much bhakti is here. But now he is coming very close. After 2 or 3 verses, then Lord says that, okay, now you start describing about devotional service. So text 66 next week, next class they can read. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.